together, and I can't run any faster. It will end before it starts. And I'm up against a wall. How can it be growing taller? I'm high on adrenaline. I see the world burning in a vision. Hands up as you fall, don't know anything at all. Hands up as you fall, spinning faster. Hands up as you fall, don't know anything at all. Hands up as you fall, spinning faster. Drugs can do the same. Blood in the wind. Is this what we created? Where have we started? Did I lose my mind? I'm up against a wall, on the edge, seconds till I fall. I'm high on adrenaline. I see the world burning from within. Hands up as you fall, don't know anything at all. Hands up as you fall, spinning faster. Hands up as you fall, don't know anything at all. Hands up as you fall, spinning faster.
I'm off the shit with my brother. I'm off the shit with my brothers. Keep lethal weapons and Glover. First make a young nigga thugger. You know best friend is a cover. Girl on me bouncing like flubber. Boy young with money like Stunner. 300 a pint pour all summer. Shoot on sight if you fuck with my come up. Your boy got a license to stunt this. Shoot on sight isn't right, but we gunning. Sippin' Sprite pour all night at the function. Yeah, we bump 21, ain't no jumping. See the X and the X did the dumb shit. Said I rock one-on-one how I've done shit. In your eyes, see you jump if I smoke this. Bump an X when I flex for the youngin'.
Your boy got a license to stunt this. Shoot on sight isn't right, but we gunning. Sippin' Sprite pour all night at the funk, Pull up to the club. Pop that.
I can't do this right now.
License to start this. Shoot on sight isn't right, but we gunning. This fight for all night at the funk,
I came to rock.
outside, too nice is a setup. Drift out, head to toe, peep the get up. Said the younger be stunting in any sweater. You think you could do it better, but really could never measure. Got a Glock engraved with your name on it. And some special designs, this is a game for me. Tiptoed on the beat in Balenciagas. Dipped out of your crib with my Gucci floppers.
Your boy got a license to start this. Shoot on sight isn't right when we gun it. Super spike all night is the flight is the funk, 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 funk. Pull up to the club. Pop that.
I can't do this right now.
Oh, if y'all fucking hit me with the
Hello, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the ESEA Advanced Season. Locally hated versus Sleepless Gaming here tonight. I'm your main caster Storm, my co-caster Roboscop on the other side. Obviously, we saw a pretty strong game from Sleepless Gaming on Monday, going 13-5 against Might. And as we talked with them, I think this was more of a confidence booster for them.
Yeah, definitely. Might is a very strong team, so being able to take down that opponent after some disappointing losses. I mean, obviously, as we mentioned, those 3 opponents in a row. I mean, pretty tough schedule, but managing to go 1 and 2 in that stretch is really not bad at all.
Definitely, yeah. And it's like you said, having all those right at the start of the season, it could be a little bit it could be a little disorienting with the fact that you had a new roster lineup, as well as the fact of it could also start to hurt them team morale if stuff doesn't go in your favor right at the start of the season. But we're not seeing any of that coming out from the boys of Sleepless Gaming, so they're actually doing pretty well as a team and hopefully growing a little further.
Yeah, definitely. I think I've been a teammate of Owen's for a year and a half, maybe. Before that, we've been friends for a very long time, but never played on the same team until Sleepless Gaming. And I would say I think something that he can be pretty good at is just making sure that everyone kind of always, like, no opponent is unbeatable. Like, no matter how bad the odds might be. I mean, if you guys just can show up and just like be absolutely cracked for a day, I mean, you can win. You can really win any game. So.
Yeah. Our matchup for today will bring us back to Mirage. Obviously, we've seen this map a lot more over the last few games, over the last couple weeks, and hopefully we'll be able to see Sleepless Gaming pull out a few more stops here as we get started with the knife round. It will be locally hated to win out the knife round against Sleepless Gaming. I'm sorry that we missed like a little bit of it. And give us 1 second because we are missing the HUD on our end. You can still see the HUD, but we couldn't for a second. Yeah. We're good now. We're good. So obviously when it comes to... I'm sorry?
No, sorry. I was going to say, is it bad that I want them to lose this game so that we stop seeing Mirage?
I mean, it is kind of bad, but at the same time, I feel your pain.
Yeah, just a joke, but...
Yeah, I mean, when it comes to Mirage, obviously it's more of a puck style map, but it's also it is one of the easier ones to cast and observe. However, sometimes certain plays or like certain round elements can feel stale towards like casting wise, you know. Ooh.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
We got an early ramp push here.
Yeah, this is a judgment call from locally hated here. Immediately
they're ready
pushing
for this.
Into ramp right off the rip. Owen goes down immediately. I don't know if Nova also made a footstep. And so they're going to re-clear back towards A site. So they had the first pick well in their favor. Utility also just starts to rain through. Nova finally makes his noise out of a palace. Just a little bit of damage in. Top Shot has lurked his way
timing
up
jungle?
to Khan. Ooh, the timing is perfect. Doesn't immediately go for the headshot, but does eventually get the frag. Ethics to try to refrag through this window. Cannot get his way through in time. The bomb to get planted safely towards Catwalk. Top Shadow does manage to find himself a second kill. Ethics still trying to find a tap. Well, Saber is still trying to work his way out through CT spawn. Jax goes out wide, trying to take all the fights. Good on one headshot, but not a frag. 3-on-3 is the name of this game. Top Shadow might get timing from Ethics here in window. Nova also peeks into it, getting tagged down in the head. Jade also trying to find a little bit more, cannot get it done. Bomb still planted for them towards Khan. Tapping away at the bomb, not sticking it in time. Saber has to try to fight anything, but it's Top Shadow to win it out. 4 frags for him on the pistol.
Yeah, great round out of Sleepless Gaming. It seemed like maybe a bit of an anti-strat there. They were ready for that ramp push. Owen still got absolutely destroyed, but he was jiggling that, and obviously they had the players in Palace ready, so they got the A-split going, and yeah, much better than one of the other previous pistol rounds we saw where they got the bomb down but didn't really have any control. That round they had full control of jungle and the murder hole, so much easier to hold on there.
And the amount of patience that Top Shot had to really withhold, to not push too far out into that window, to not take unnecessary fights, and to just rely on the fact that Nova is kind of bait in that situation. And it worked out well in their favor. And obviously the force buy right afterwards to come through. Jade eventually does fall, but overall cleanup from Sleepless Gaming, just get some free eco frags, make it worthwhile. Oh, and the ops
Top
come
Shadow's
out.
gonna take those all day. Oh yeah, wow.
This, oh, whoa, okay, this is going to be an interesting round. I saw P90 out of Ethics.
A timeout already.
Timeout called. Ethics it relogs in the server just for a second, but I saw a P90 come out on top of an MP9 and a glass cannon op. This is definition of confusion for me. I don't know if Locally Hated have a strat going into this one, or they're trying to really gamble here.
Huh. Left again. I feel like I heard the chat message or something.
Yeah,
I'm curious if he joins back quick.
we-
I wonder
we-
if he has
we
the wrong
can't-
loadout.
We can't see chat messages with the
Yeah.
HUD off. I mean, you could launch the game on your own so you could see the chat.
Yeah.
That's up to you. I was always saying to
No, I
myself,
mean-
if I ever got a second computer while casting / observing on my own, I would definitely open Counter-Strike on that computer as well, just so I could see like raw HUD, raw chat messages and everything. Just so I have an idea of what's going on, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But that's just kind of a far out dream if I ever get the money for it.
Yeah, it looks like I think that was a tech timeout they had used
Yeah.
there, which is now over.
That's one of the server issued tech timeouts. So when a player disconnects from a server, it just automatically puts out the 2-minute tech timeout. Which is handy actually, because 5 minutes just sometimes isn't enough time for ESEA, and sometimes that 2 minutes can actually make a world's difference.
Definitely.
Another fast play from Saber. He doesn't have armor, and he has a D-lore op. Frankly, what a flex. And he's trying to go really aggressive towards B apartments here, but a single bullet will completely hit punch him. There he goes. Gets a leg, but only finds the headshot right back onto him. So, damage for damage. I'd actually say that was worthwhile for the glass cannon op.
Yeah, but I think T's are going to be able to take full control of this 5-on-4 advantage. This is going to be pretty tough. As you can see, they also have full mid control, so we're getting an early rotate already. We have Penguin headed back all the way towards Market, but they're going to see a player outside ramp. He's going to go back towards CT now.
Still 2 players for Locally Hated towards the B site, or the back of B site. Meanwhile, slow re-aggression coming out in ramp while Epic tries to hold it on with an MP9. Good for the first. Almost finds spray transfer onto Jax as well. And here's Penguin sitting in CT towards the ticket booth, trying his best to hold on to top stairs, which would put him at a very advantaged position. Top Shot is just here with a MAC-10. Cannot play that long-range duel. Will not be ready for top stairs. Tries to dodge the flash. Top Shadow gets away with his life for now. Going for a little bit more damage. Doesn't get it done. Top Shadow with just a little bit more. If he had one more bullet to his magazine, the kill was his for the taking. And it's all down to Alec. Left in a 1 versus 3. 2 players in relative kill range. Good for the first. Jade still has a little bit of a lifeline with 100 HP and an op to his name. If Jax goes down here, this is a very dangerous situation. Alex still trying to find it all, but Jade does shut down the last frag. The Sleepless Gaming keep going.
Yeah, very nice. They got that trade and ramp, obviously, and had the 4-on-3 situation, but really took their time there getting into A side. They didn't rush it at all. They even let the CTs just get the rotate into CT, into ticket. So the CTs had 2 there, but they were really not worried about it at all. I was a little bit concerned with the 20 seconds left as bomb was coming out ramp.
Actually, that wasn't the most of my concerns. Obviously, if the bomb died, then I would have been a little more concerned. But yeah, taking your time in towards middle there, trying to see if the CTs would overstep at any point. It makes the most sense in the world. Ooh, here we go. Oh, and take the first fight. Good for 1. Almost finds the second onto Alex. Down to 12 HP. But yeah, like taking time, making sure you have all the information and possibly the frag advantage is music. But now,
Definitely.
Locally Hated, obviously in a little bit of a more dire situation. Saber recovering an AK makes it a little bit more worthwhile. Oh, Ethics is not mollied out of position here. Penguin still holding on to top there as much as possible. Good for a little bit of chip damage. Back turn. Nova good for one. Tries to find a little bit more. Gets the second one. Has to try it for a little bit more, but it's Saber to take down one frag in towards the A site as Alec cleans up the last one with the MP9. As Locally Hated get themselves on the board pretty early.
Yeah, obviously, you know, hindsight's going to be 2020, but as you can see, I think they threw a second molly down an underpass there. They were obviously very concerned, having lost full apps control there, and with that, I kind of gotta say I really wish that they had tried to go up cat. I'm not sure how many smokes they had left, if they had one to smoke off con and just kind of group up, going up cat, because obviously we could have seen with the positions. The CTs had apps control, so it wouldn't necessarily been super easy, but you know, they kind of just ended up getting into the blender, all going in con there.
Yeah, I think one thing that the CTs played a bit well was obviously I think it was Ethics getting a little bit of chip damage in towards con, also causing a little bit of distraction for Sleepless Gaming. And making them turn their backs at the wrong moment when Penguin swings with a deagle top con and finds himself a double kill. It really opened the round up for the CTs to hold on to con control, make sure they don't get into A nearly as fast. And that's kind of it for the round once that happened.
Yeah, I think we just have pretty much a straight, like, fake mid take here. They threw the regular window and top mid smoke, and they're about to just pop out A with Top Shadow being the late lurk and gone. But they're going to get re-smoked Palace here. They're going to have to wait a really long time. I feel like the Locally Hated might be able to see what's coming here.
And actually, that smoke gives a lot of information of where Ethics is playing up close. And the Mollies are going to try to run through to keep him back. A little bit of burn damage as well. Jade also goes down to Saber's op. Meanwhile, Penguin's trying to fight in mid. Top Shadow finds himself a double. Also op out of Locally Hated's hands as Saber gets the one and only the one. And so the round win from before, they could not convert it.
Yeah, that was a really quick round. I'm not sure where a lot of those kills came from. It seemed like the Saber got the first pick with the op, and then 4 kills answered back by Sleepless almost immediately.
Every frag went into their favors, despite the men disadvantage going into that A site rush. And
yeah, they did not care whether or not Locally was ready for that.
Yeah, and hopefully we can see Alec pull a little bit more out of their pocket. Ooh, bomb brings Top Shadow down to 7 HP. Way too close to the A site. But no one overswings for TV room, so saved M4 for Alec. And 4 saved rifles for Sleepless Gaming, which is going to be a massive boost to their economy later down the line.
Yeah, I gotta say, with the 4-1 scoreline, their economy isn't quite as impressive as I might expect, even though I feel like they had some clean rounds. But definitely will have at least one more bye were they to lose this round.
Again, playing up close with the MP9s and the pistols, trying to flash in towards a main. Top Shadow and Jade both hear this information. Top Shadow's getting a little bit on the greedy side. Good for the first, taken right back out by the 5-7. M4 recovered in the hands of Ethics. Possibly a little bit more if they get down ramp. Ethics still trying to find the fight. Cannot find it in time. Jade gets away with the op and the bomb. There's still more information to be heard from Palace. Meanwhile, Nova's still trying to find any sort of pick towards mid. Try to take that map control back. As they lost all sort of momentum towards the A site.
Yeah, obviously, not the worst situation going 1-for-1. I would generally say right in man equal positions, the T side is favored. But I gotta say, I mean, I think Top Shadow maybe got a little bit greedy, as he said there, trying to swing for the second kill. It was pretty risky because he had another player there to trade, but it was the op, and he did not really want to. Isaiah Bowen getting rushed by the pistols, managed to take down one before he dies. Ethics gets the trade, and we have players coming out. Palace, jungle control. Is Astari gonna? He gets hit by the nade. Gets taken down by Nova, who now has full murder hole control. This is gonna be a pretty hard retake. tries to go through.
And despite the nade directly impacting, for whatever reason, turning away with an MP9, and then Nova almost missing that spray, trying to complete the kill. That was a little bit of confusion from both sides, but ultimately Sleepless Gaming come out on top. Obviously, Nova finding himself a double. Yeah, I mean, ultimately a good round going back into this one. Ethics still trying to make a little bit more work done, so to speak.
Definitely, yeah, I agree. That was a little bit strange. The MP9 kind of not trying to really take that fight there at all, just kind of back turn. But to finish up what I was saying about the ramp play, obviously Jade very smartly didn't try to overswing to get that trade on the top shadow, because there's no reason to risk dying to the 5-7 losing the op and being in a now 3-on-4. That very likely just is round lost.
Yeah, and some people would say that Top Shadow didn't need to over-aggress for those picks, and in some situations, yeah, that might be right, but I actually liked what Top Shadow was doing there. He took a controlled fight for the first frag, and he wanted to go for a little bit more, but made sure his gun was in a very tradable position. But this is actually going to fall way apart for the T side, as they're going to get shut down out of mid early on. Owen finds a shot in towards B. So that opens up a little more possibility, while the Jax lurk is also towards Palace. Nova's still trying to find any sort of pressure in middle. Good for the first ops in hands for Saber. And still an op down top mid out of Jade's hand. Penguin, ooh, not able to find the shot onto Nova. And so this round...
was a 3-on-5.
Yeah, this was a 3-on-5. And Jax also found a little more information with a little head, as well as more footsteps in middle. So he should have all the information of where these last two defenders relatively are. Obviously, anti-timing just not working out in their favor. Bomb to get planted on A. And I don't see a reasonable situation where locally hated go back in for this.
Yeah, this is going to be a hard save, though, I think. I don't know if they know... Oh wow! Ethics managed to get that kill. I was gonna say I'm not sure if they're ready for Owen to just be camped out on the B site like that, but it looks like we're gonna get a hunt. No, he's just gonna hold outside market. So yeah, once again, just another save coming in, keeping the op up. But yeah, I would say Sleepless. Obviously, I think they had a pretty good showing against some really strong teams. So now going up a maybe more equal competition, really kind of putting their foot down.
Hit it. A little more to the right, you'll find yourself a kill. Come on, Nova. Oh, no! As if he could hear me. Almost got that frag. Now that would have been great. Take away one extra AK out of locally hated's hands. That would have been salt in the wound. And as I've said in previous casts, the more guns that you keep on those save rounds, especially with the growing loss bonus, the better off you'll be for later rounds, the more times you'll be able to buy back in. Whoa, Nova. Running through several mollies, down to 2 HP, and he's standing inside of a smoke, which can easily be broken apart. No one's going to get that in time. Gets a little bit of damage, but traded right back out by Ethics. So the main advantage to go into locally hated's hands. And, okay, this is actually going to be a dicey situation. All four of these players actually are towards stairs, right outside of this con smoke. And actually, Jack's going to get picked off by Alec around the smoke. Smoke on top of the bomb as well, trying to find any shots with the AWP from Jade, sticking the 5-second defuse. Top Shadow gets him off the bomb for now, but eventually traded right back out by Alec. And what a cluster for a round. And locally hated managed to take that away. 2-6 for now.
Yeah, I like the attempt there from Nova, but maybe not after he was taken down to 2 HP by the utility. I don't know. That was pretty wild, but nonetheless, we're gonna have another buy round coming out of them.
And it would have been an okay call if Nova was able to complete the first kill and hit the spray transfer, but there was a couple more mistakes, especially with Jack's peeking out through Palace around a smoke and then getting immediately fragged without any sort of like plausible way to get traded back out. And if you're Jax in that position, you play around that smoke, jump out of Palace the moment that you hear a bomb tap while your teammates are fighting off through CT, just making a ton of noise. That would be the optimal situation.
Yeah, definitely. And that Palace CT kind of crossfire can be pretty lethal, as we have Saber getting the opening pick on the Jade there. So 5-on-4 situation for locally hated. I feel like they haven't had many of these, so really going to need to try to capitalize after losing that 3-on-5 earlier.
Oh, look at what Nova's doing. He's immediately pushed all the way through Cat. If Alec does not spot this out immediately, it's actually going to be him taking out Saber in ladder room. So there's the op gone on their side. Bomb recovered for the T's as well, pretty securely. Nova trying to find more, cannot get it done. Owen finds one towards the A site, still splitting up to try to find more frags. Top Shadow takes the first fight against Astery, gets the frag. Owen still looking to find where the A anchor Ethics is. Around the ramp, smoke and fades, and Bomb goes down again. 35 seconds on the clock. Jax, almost had the right timing.
Spotted.
Yeah, he did spot him. But Alex is also going to find Top Shadow.
Yeah, sorry, I think Ethics didn't realize that he was spotted. But yeah, obviously, Alec finding the other kill is going to make it a really tough situation for Jax here in the 1-on-2.
And Alec has bomb in view. Flash not good. Jax not able to hit the counter strafe. As locally hated finally get a consecutive round.
Yeah, I hope we see a hero AK or something here. This is kind of a weird buy, so definitely want to, I think, get the gun round. Nope, we're going to get a full force. Looks like it, so.
From the looks of this buy, it's going to be more utility Tech 9 rush type of deal with Top Shadow
They're going
anchoring with an AK. And Top Shadow...
This is going to be a B-pop.
Yeah, Top Shadow proving the numbers, 12-6 currently at the start of this map.
Yeah, definitely. He's looked really clean. And Nova also, obviously, on the 11-4, looking really good as well.
And so long as they can capitalize more on those pistols, the better off they will be. And if they wait out Alex lurk smoke at Van here, ooh, it could be a dicey situation for the CTs, because that smoke's the only thing keeping him away from a direct gunfight. Flashes start to rain through. Astri and Alec are both flash off position. Astri eventually goes down. Owen finds the opening frag. Alec is still blind here. Cannot deny the bomb plant in time, as Owen's still here with an A1S. Doesn't spot out bench. What a disaster already. The bomb gets planted. Top Shadow finds one frag down to 10 HP as well. Almost getting spammed around the smoke. Alex still back of sight here. It's down to Jade to try to get as much done with the pistol. Cannot get it done. And I feel like there was way too much miscommunication from Owen there.
Yeah, wow. I mean, I'm really confused. They weren't ready for a second player to be there. I don't know. They didn't clear out the bench position at all before planting the bomb, and then
Owen still didn't
got
clear
a
it
kill.
out.
Yeah, and Owen still didn't kill him. Like you said, I think I'm very confused. But overall, the start of that round was really, really good. As you said, they waited out that lurk smoke right before they did the B pop. It was very well played, and they got the opening kill and everything. It was looking so good.
But still, none of them cleared bench to kill Alec, and he managed to get himself a triple in that round. Here comes the mid crunch from the CTs. Nova hanging around that close around that smoke. Astray still trying to re-swing from Cat. Two-man advantage going for Sleepless Gaming already, as all the frags just kind of went out of their way. Astray a good tap as well. Ethics has lurked his way into the con smoke. Bomb dropped. And both of these CT players are extremely low HP. Jax finds the frag in towards the A site. Astray has to do the rest of it with 2 HP. He does have an AK, so he has something to work with. And he has a kit, but there's the information. Jax hears all the footsteps, ready for the swing, gets the headshot as Sleepless Gaming win out the half currently, and have one more chance to bring it to an 8-4.
Yep, that was a, got a little scary there, a little dicey, I would say, with Aster getting the kill and Ethics walking through the smoke, bringing it from a 4-on-2 back to a 2-on-2, but gonna be able with the Jax lurk out on A, bring it back.
MP9's another up in the hands of Saber. This time, not a glass cannon on a force buy, which was a very interesting judgment call on round 3. Three players on the CT side leaning towards the A side, playing really tight angles. Information not being there, it not being controlled by either side yet, means no one has a way to crunch either site. And if fights are taken too early towards the A ramp, it could be a problem. If you don't have a way for a flank. Late A main smoke comes through, as well as a missed T smoke. They were trying to use that to really secure themselves into mid.
Yeah, they just fully walked out mid here. I mean, they didn't even really throw much utility other than the start of the round, so I'm not sure how ready they're going to be for just like a contact play to come. Ooh, got the boost up on Ticket, going to find the opening kill on top shadow as we have Nova running through. Saber finds another on the Jade.
Very peculiar situation. Obviously, the crossfire being good. With Saber going back down, he was able to hold on to ramp. Flashes also to come through. 2 cat players taking out Nova. It's Owen left in a 1 versus 3. 20 seconds on the clock. 50 HP to his name. Good for the first one on the swing. Perfect execution. He has to try to find where the second player is. Doesn't really know. Molotov also bad in towards CT. Spam to come through the wall. Not good for anything just yet. Saber can't find the timing with the AWP. Owen back turn to CT. Gets the first frag and he gets away for now. Bomb not planted for him, so he has to be able to get back in time. Tap on the bomb. Saber goes out wide. Owen's playing this perfectly on the timing.
Wow.
Goes around the box and finds himself the frag. 1-on-3 clutch for him to get a quad kill in the round. Sleepless Gaming on 8.
And that is why he's the IGL. Very, very well played on the 1v3 there. I kind of almost don't like the whoever that was in Con going for the spam through triple. I mean, you're pretty unlikely to get that kill, and it gave Owen all the information. I mean, he knew the op was CT after he had gotten a couple kills, and you know, he was able to isolate those 1v1s at the very end with the 1-on-2 after having the information.
Beautifully executed clutch for Owen there. Obviously, you had to really pick your fight properly, and trying to fight an op head on while there was still a rifle on the other side just made it a little too dicey, but managing to get that timing down to the T was perfect. A execute to come out from locally hated. Obviously not going to be met with much firepower on the other side. Owen's going to rotate all the way out of CT spawn. Meanwhile, Top Shadow's going to get his back as soon as possible. And this is going to cause a little bit of confusion because obviously they saw one CT player, but then no one's going to be there on the other side. And so locally hated haven't scaled out CT, so they don't have any confirmation. Meanwhile, this bomb is ticking. Eventually, the first tap comes through for Alec. Top Shadow also finds himself a double kill. Owen's still trying to find anything towards CT spawn. Lurking around the smoke. Good for the first one. And it's a crossfire to really come through, but the smoke is covering so much position. 5-second defuse with Owen on the kit. Does manage to get it. Jack pulls out the knife. Owen denies it. It denies 1500, but still, what a ninja defuse from Owen. Again, pulling out another clutch move with that kit.
Yeah, so another pistol round right there. I'm going to say that felt a little bit anti-stratty. Owen obviously was geared up with the kit smoke, played full-on retake A site there after seeing the util come out from the T's, and yeah, very smartly runs all the way out of CT. I mean, if he had stayed a little bit more far forward, they might have just tried to run him down, which would have made that a much more difficult situation. So yeah, I don't know. It seemed like they were very ready for everything that Locally Hated was doing there.
And obviously, with this type of commanding lead, Locally Hated have lost any sort of breathing room to, you know, make mistakes, cost themselves a round or two. And with this type of crunch, now they have to be near perfect in order to try to bring this back, to try to deny overtime.
Yeah, and Locally Hated really going to be wanting this round win because obviously they got the bomb plan, so decided to force up. And losing this round obviously very likely means we looking at an 11-4 scoreline, which feels quite daunting to go into on the T side of Mirage.
Control eventually coming out for the T side. Top con smoke as well to try to cover their tracks. Flashes to also come through. Owen still on the other side. Flashed off completely. But does get the first frag. Jumping Mac 10. Only gets the one as Jax immediately is there to trade it back out. Top Shadow good for one, but has to back up off the HP difference. As Penguin is also going to find his way out towards the A site. Trying to take that long range fight.
Wow.
What a shot from him. Taking out Nova as well. This gives the bomb a little bit more room to try to get back towards triple. But Jax is there to find the taps through the boxes. Saber is down to 22 HP as Penguin also takes a little bit more damage as well. 2-on-2 situation. Saber, wrong time to cross the moment that you get shot through the box. Left to this Deagle to try to clutch up 2 more frags. Smoke on top of the bomb as well. Tap as well. Not able to find it. Jax cleans up the last kill. Triple kill for him to get themselves back into the A site.
Yeah, great spam coming out of Jax there on the triple box. He got so much damage on the last 2 players there. So much, obviously, right at the end when the player tried to cross into CT, he was basically one shot. And yeah, I want to say as well, Owen getting the opening pick there on the cat play. Really great game out of Owen so far. Much better showing than the last Mirage game where we had the interview with him. I mean, it was unfortunate. I mean, you know, he said he didn't feel like he was playing that bad, and just, you know, kind of one of those games. Yeah, or like, you know, you can have those games, just nothing really goes your way.
Yeah, definitely. And obviously, we're seeing a little bit more. We're seeing a little bit more proactiveness from from Sleepless Gaming to not overextend whenever they don't need to, and playing off of off-angle trades, and that's been a huge factor for a lot of their fights so far in this map. Playing for those trades, even if it's a little bit of an awkward position. Obviously not going to be successful this time. Eventually, Owen does get the first information towards underpass as well. So smokes to really cover them off, but Locally Hated will take over the mid control for now. With the bomb leaning towards mid and only 1 player towards A. If Penguin goes down at any point, it's going to be extra difficult for Locally Hated to really get anywhere. He has to play his life as if he is the most important player on the team. The rotation's already started to come through towards the A site. And Owen also leaning outside of Murder Hole. Smokes to go down top con. 40 seconds on the clock. Locally Hated still trying to figure out where they're going with the bomb. Alec has lurked his way out, but spotted out immediately. Penguin also finds himself the first shot in towards the A site. Keeping himself alive just a little bit longer while the rest of his team catches up. 20 seconds left, only a flash left in the hands of Penguin, and Nova hears all this information and will try to stop this bomb plan as he's already out through triple, does deny it in time. Now they have to recover the bomb as Owens tries to stay alive as long as possible. 7 seconds on the clock. Saber finds the first frag. Nova goes back out, trying to deny the bomb plan. He doesn't know where he's at, and Saber takes him down as Locally Hated get themselves back on the board in the second half.
Wow, super close round there. I really thought Nova had done enough getting that pick on the bomb planter with 12 seconds left. But yeah, unfortunately, they were able to pick that back up and started that plant right at 5 seconds. So just in the nick of time. And obviously, Owen getting chased down there made that a pretty difficult situation in the 1-on-2.
Relegated to SMGs, Deagles, and an M4 in the hands of Jax. Hoping to make a little bit more magic work. Obviously, we've seen Top Shadow be able to fry with the MP9. Hopefully, he can get some more damage done at a low cost. Tick spots the first player on Catwalk, so Owen spotted out. Information given. Jax, there goes the M4. The only rifle in the hands of Sleepless Gaming. Out of the round, very deep into towards apps. And so with that early pick towards the B site, now it's going to cause a little bit of discomfort. Obviously, the bomb wanting to lean back towards B now that there's been a little bit more information. Obviously, the jump spot to give some more. Trying to find a shot around the window. It's not able to get him.
Eagles on B here, and one goes down.
Fade back to site. Good for the first deagle shot. Cannot find the second follow-up. And a much-needed economy win for locally hated.
Definitely, as we're going to have Sleepless Gaming liking it going on the full USP save. We saw them able to win one of these. I believe that was in the last game, maybe 2 games ago. But I was going to say, I don't necessarily hate it too much, but the solo M4, yeah, like lurking push apps. I don't know.
I just don't think that was a call. I don't think that was a good call.
I agree. I think you can get more use out of that.
You want to put the M4 in a recoverable position, like locally hated did that one round with Ethics. You put it close to one of your other teammates, whether or not it's in a forward position. You want to be sure that someone's there to try to recover it or to try to get a trade frag with a force buy. And it just didn't work out for Jax, obviously, in this position. Way too deep in towards apartments. No way to feasibly recover that gun. So the 5-on-5 post plant, trying to get anything done with USPs. Obviously, not able to find the right timing onto Alec when he was in apartments. And he's still here, so he's still isolated on an island. And it seems like all of CT are going to try to run through that Molly, and it's Jax to win it out. So, actually, that's a gun with a 4-on-4.
That felt really unnecessary. I feel like Alec is just straight, like, trying to eco farm. Like, what reason does he have to swing into that? I mean, he kind of just whiffs.
And he doesn't have money. Look at his money. He's 250.
Yeah. Like, he should have gotten kills, but he kind of whiffs. But, yeah, I feel like that was pretty unnecessary, and Sleep was going to be taking that all day, saving that AK.
Yeah, and obviously with Alec going down and still plenty of Sleepless Gaming alive, you don't really have a good way to trade that one back out without a feasible risk. And at this point, your aim of the game is building up your money, not building up your funny.
Definitely. And yeah, I mean, Sleepless, I'm gonna say they are gonna really want to win this gun round. If they lose this one, I mean, we're gonna very likely be looking at a 10-9 score line, which means the comeback has really started for locally hated here in the second half.
Yeah, and this is obviously a dangerous position for Sleepless Gaming because you're limited utility. You only have one kid in the hands of Owen, so whatever you do, you have to do it really fast or play together for the entirety. You don't want to leave everything to the last second or leave it to a post plant, because then you're just out of time. You're out of options. If push comes to shove, you just got to save as many guns as possible. So if you lose a site, don't go back for it.
Yeah, locally hated is going to completely leave the A ramp after trying to get an early lurk, and they're going to group all the way back into mid, smoke the window. We have a player lurking underpass, so looks like it might be some sort of late A split with Penguini still sitting in Palace here.
One's still trying to find that entry frag out towards Cat. Ooh, Flash not able to get the right timing. Ethic spam through the wall. Good. Don't want to get trade back out, but nice shot from Mastery again on the head glitch angle. Nova finds the first frag around the smoke. Upgrades to an AK. Can't find him around that smoke. Good for him. Follow up. Top Shadow opens up another one. Nova finds himself a triple. Playing that close angle towards Khan, denying any sort of A room, and he's making it known.
Yeah, that was awesome. I really have liked watching Nova on this team. I feel like I've always known he was a very good player, but he I think he really had the standout game last game against Might, and I think he's looking really strong here as well. That was a really great 3K.
Definitely. We've obviously been seeing a lot of these players just opening up a ton of multi-frags for Sleepless Gaming, and we're seeing the potential that each of these players really produces. It's all just a matter of the situation, timing, and, you know, just the execution of it. Owen finds himself the entry frag as well towards the middle. Really opens up a can of worms. Meanwhile, A's already being pressured by two of these T's. Nova goes out wide and stares. Penguin gets the best of him. A little bit wrong on the timing, as Alex is also still playing this lurk towards B apartments. And I feel like this type of play is also being scum read by Owen. He wants to make sure that mid is still on lockdown, but he also has that inkling of a feeling that Alec will be there.
Yeah, I feel like Owen. I feel like he has seemed super aware so far. I feel like he's just been playing extremely smart this game, and obviously getting the opening kill there as well to open up the round. Yeah, I mean, I said it earlier. I'm just impressed with. Ooh, as he's gonna get knocked down there.
Barely gets out alive, having to back up into his ladder room. So he keeps his gun, he keeps his life. Jade eventually does get the frag back. So it's a 4-on-3 situation with a little bit of a health deficit for Sleepless Gaming. Not by much.
Yes.
I mean, actually they do have 2 points of health over him, but with it being spread out between one player on 6 HP, you know, it's just not favorable for at least one of their players. Ooh, anti-timing.
Yeah,
Penguin does not get spotted immediately. 2 players out towards Cat. Here comes the market rush as well. You've prepared for these types of retakes on your server, and nothing goes your way. The crossfires come through. Alec and Penguin both find themselves a double kill. As locally hated keep this game close.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to think of some of the other sites in the game. I was gonna say like Mirage B site, even with like a man advantage like that, just never feels very good to retake. You know, they had players coming from Market and Cat, but I feel like I am never confident in a Mirage B retake unless I have like Apps, Cat, and Market. Like then I'm like pretty sure, but yeah, just a very difficult site to retake.
Either that, or if you can open up a single frag early into the retake, either from Catwalk especially. Catwalk can be probably one of the bigger positions to get one of those early frags back into the retake.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, that pretty much had to be the case with the smoke being in Market there. The Market players didn't really have any chance to get an early kill, start off that retake.
Oh, look at Owen. He's taking that immediate top mid space. And Ethics is not going to spot that one out. Owen hears the information, trying to tap away at long range. Not going to find the frag. As B-side also falls on the wayside. And so, still trying to get anything done with those upgraded pistols. And with locally hated taking their time back in towards the B-site, it allows Sleepless Gaming to get a move on. They still don't know where all of the T's are, how far pushed they are. And with that utility dump starting to rain through, they're going to have a general idea as well as Ethics still holding on. Close under apps.
Yeah, we're going to be looking at an 11-9 score line. So definitely a very strong second half coming out of locally hated, as we're getting pretty close score line to here towards the end of the game. I am no Mirage expert, and I might not be completely remembering all these rounds, but I really kind of want to see Sleepless go for some extremity control here. Maybe getting, you know, someone kind of pushed in the deep ramp or even in the palace, or maybe even going for some early apps control. Or I don't know. I feel like they're not fighting over mid too much either. Like I just want to see them like go for some map control early into this round.
So long as they don't lose their only rifle like they did that one round.
Yeah, definitely.
Not going to save much in that round. Top Shadow just with a 5-7 to his name and a little bit of armors. Not much you can really do in that situation. Obviously, with only pistols going into the 2400 loss bonus. Now, if you just don't find if you don't find a kill, if you don't find a gun, you don't really have much to fight for. You might as well not give an extra $300 to the enemies for your death, you know?
And it looks like they kind of tried to go for what I'm saying. They're going to try to get the op posted up in the deep apps here, but they get mollied off on the balcony there. And Saber is just fully ready for this. It's going to come down to who has a faster trigger finger. He's going to be Saber. And he's not going to find a second. Gets traded out by Jax.
Almost enough time for Saber to find that shot onto Jax, missing the initial spray. Alec missing the initial spray onto Jax as well, so back and forth damage between the two. Mid control goes a little bit into locally hated's favor. Obviously trying to set up a crossfire in towards jungle here. That smoke down. So Nova's going to play his life as long as possible. Wait for that information. Top Shadow is going to finally hear some of the information towards a ramp. Nova's mollied off, so he takes a little bit of burn damage. Meanwhile, Top Shadow's taking that fight towards ramp. Cannot find the shot on the Penguin. So the man advantage goes in their favor. Jack still trying the fight towards the B site with that lurk. So Owen getting a little bit more damage back in towards the A site. And Alec is still lurking B here.
Yeah, I think he's gonna try to hunt. I don't know if Sleepless is gonna go for this. I kind of want them to just save. I mean, I don't know. I feel like this is gonna be a pretty tough retake. They have no kits,
Ooh.
no util, or one smoke. Sorry.
Oh my gosh, and the timing,
Yep. And
Asteroid
there's the call.
Yeah, Asteroid gets off the angle from Sandwich at the exact right time. Otherwise, Nova would have been able to spot that one out. And just as Alec moves out of B apartments, now he's back towards A main. So, yeah, this is a save. 3 guns for Sleepless Gaming. Obviously, I would say this is a position where you can buy as a team into the next round, but you'll be so limited on utility if you have to buy for others.
So this is definitely going to be a buy, and I'll tell you why real quick. There's max 3 rounds left in this game, so they're going to buy, save, buy. Just maximize gun rounds. So, but yeah, glad they went for the save call there.
I mean, this is also a situation where I'd argue you save down to 2K, you have, or 1.5, you have the 3,400 loss bonus to your name, and you try to go for a better gun round going into the 11-11 scoreline, assuming you lose. You still have 3 rifles that you save, so it's not like you're spending any money on a better loadout, but this is one of those situations where you have to make that judgment call as the IGL what you want to do. And you know, with Saber hitting shots towards B, this is not helping Sleepless Gaming at all.
Definitely. Oh, Nova managed to find one back though, but yeah, I mean they had pretty much everything that they needed. Owen was the only one a little bit light on utility, and they had a couple kits and everything. I definitely think it's better to like maximize the potential gun rounds. But nonetheless, we have a 4-on-4 situation here with the T's grouping up back into apps. We're going to get some sort of B play here as Jade deciding whether or not he wants to stay. He's going to lurk back into the B site here. So going to have 2 defenders here to deal with.
And honestly, you have to take these duels more towards the AKs. Obviously, you don't want to take that long-range duel against the AWP. And that's exactly what Jade's going to do. He's going to take the initial fight. Not able to find the second one from Owen. And oh no, the op walks in as well. Saber finds a shot on the Nova. Top Shadow saves with 1 M4. And Nova has money. Jade will have a little bit. Top Shadow has money as well. I don't know. This is a tough call.
Yeah, this next round, I think we're going to get some sort of half buy. We'll probably get a couple MP9s. I think Jade is just going to save for the op into the last round, if I had to guess. But man, Jade just kind of having a bit of a rough game for sure.
Definitely.
I felt like he definitely had an opportunity to get a second there and potentially a third if that was a pretty clean frag. So definitely had chances there, but nonetheless, we will see the 11-11 scoreline.
Yeah, and it was just as I was saying. Like if you save. If you save down to 1.5, you have the 3 M4s to your name. You can get some upgraded pistols and some more utility in your belt, but obviously you're just playing around those M4s mostly, trying to play back as long as possible. Maybe save those guns again.
Wow, they are fully
and then you would
buying.
have a full buy. But yeah, I mean,
wow, they have a lot. They have almost all the utility.
So now they have an AWP in the hands of Jade, hopefully able to find a little more success, not able to find the entry shot on a fast mid-take. MP9 in the hands of Jax. Again, also not able to find a multi-kill success. Jade's still getting pressured in towards Con. Doesn't know if anyone's pushing up towards Cat as well. Op not in the right position just yet to find a frag, as well as some bad team flashes. Now Saber's posted. Now he's in an optimal position.
A lot of utility left still here for Sleepless Gaming.
Ooh, now I'm getting nervous. Owen's close up in Cat. He might have a little bit of an off angle, but also on the other side, Alec is still lurking. Owen's still holding on to Cat. Cannot find a shot against 2. Jax is pressured in the middle of sight with an MP9. Nova goes down to Saber as well. Jax can't find the shot. Jade can't even find a shot with the AWP. Down to 51 HP. Still not finding the right timing onto the op cross. And now you're looking down the barrel of a single match point. Still with 3,400 loss bonus to your name, but still, this is not the situation you wanted to be on an 8-4 half.
Yeah. Man, I am a bit frustrated.
Oh, no.
The op goes down.
It's all down to Top Shadow to save at least one gun in this situation. No utility.
They are fully hunting for him.
Yeah, no utility to really buy himself some more time. He has to take the initial duel right here, and he might get hunted out. Good for the first. Still trying to find a little bit more. Down to 2 players. Eventually, frag back out after the bomb goes off. Locally hated. More than enough to work with, while Sleepless Gaming are down to scraps.
And locally hated, you're going to take a timeout here up on the final round. Yeah, I am a little bit frustrated. I mean, that wasn't necessarily the easiest, like, you know, I don't have necessarily too big of a thought in mind of what they could have done, but I'm pretty sure that both of the B players, Owen and Jax, went down with like a full belt of utility. I mean, I know Owen had a molly smoke, nade, and flash, and just kind of gets double peeked on the Cat there. I don't know. I feel like they are maybe getting a little bit nervous about this comeback and just kind of didn't really have any like plan in mind to try to like group up and take some map control with some utility. Like, I don't know. They just kind of got picked off one by one. There wasn't really much team play at all. So hopefully they'll be able to pick it up, back up in this round and take us to overtime.
And they only have one round to do it, so it's not like they have to do this entire trek to get back to overtime. But look at their utility. Look at the decision that it really has to be made, and obviously there's so much discussion that needs to be made here. Jade electing to go for a Famos with a little bit of utility dumped to the rest of his team. Axes again with an MP9. Hopefully he get a little bit more work done. Maybe a different pace change towards the B site. Obviously, the lurk this time not coming out from Alec, but close A-main presence from Sleepless Gaming, eventually swinging forward. There's the information. The footstep was also given. Ethics trying to play for that long-range duel. Not able to get any sort of information right off the bat. Top Shot is good for the first frag. Op missed shot. They can back up off this. So now they have the man advantage. Now they have a little bit of forward positioning. And locally hated don't have any other map control. They have to take this now, but
Nice.
It's Nova all the way to find the next frag to put them in such a winnable position. Right side smoke starts to come through. Missed op shot.
Yes.
Nova lines it up. All down to Penguin on the other side. A 1 versus 5 clutch demanded of him. Nade at his feet down to 43. Has to get the rest of it done. Trying to find the right timing around the smokes and around under balcony. Cannot get it done in time. Owen's right there on the other side. We're going to overtime.
And there we go. Another great round out of Nova, getting the 3K. And I just like it. I like it. I mean, I felt like this is kind of what I was saying in the round. I liked what they went for in the apps play when Jade got picked off by Saber. It didn't end up working, but I just want to see them like get active. I mean, like that one round to take us to 11-12. They just like kind of died without doing anything.
And a lot of it I would also attribute to the fact of the positioning between Nova and Top Shadow was also a little bit more, I guess, superior. Top Shadow was able to isolate a one-on-one fight, and the T's were a little bit more timid to try to go for the refrag because of the player right in front. But this time they read the situation, Ethics not allowing Top Shadow to get close to them and try to play a little bit of an off angle. But Ethics also down to 4 HP with the AWP in hand. So ultimately, unless the AWP gets some marks in, I'd call this a 3-on-3.
Yeah, and yeah, they kind of just went for the same play that they went for in the previous round, which, like I said, I don't even necessarily hate it. Like, I just, I like seeing them. I think they are a very strong fragging team, so I like seeing them just going for fights with numbers and seeing what trades they can get. But we're gonna have the smokes coming out on the A. Owen trying to lurk through on the bench as we have a molly out under Falcon. Nobody home, and we're gonna have locally hated taking full control of the A site.
Not able to find the shots on the CT as well.
Quick
Timing
flank.
just not in their favor. Jack, yeah, on the quick flank. Op now gone out of the round. He has been a huge impact towards his CT side, or to his T side. Jade also finds a shot onto Alex, so more impact into the round. Jax and Jade both have a smoke to work with. Jack's gonna throw his one forward, trying to smoke off CT on the pressure point. Both of the T's are now smoked off position. Tapped on the bomb. Jade still holding around that smoke with an AWP, but it's Jax to find the shot. And here comes Astray walking through the smoke. Jax doesn't turn around in time, and locally hated steal away the first round of overtime. I feel your pain.
That's all I can say. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but Jax ran out of bullets, so it wasn't the worst thing. He tried to stick the bomb, but I just don't always like the op trying to cover there and
At least trade the gun somewhere.
yeah. I don't know. Like I said, just kind of, I feel like a bit of a rough game coming out from Jade here. I really hope while he's still on the CT side with that op, we can see something from him this round, give us an advantage for Sleepless Gaming.
Let me tell you, the amount of utility that just got dumped just dropped my FPS by like half. I went from 100 FPS while streaming and casting down to 40. I don't know if anyone else saw it on stream. Alright, so mid control goes in the way for Astray, but only the one. So if he gets mollied off here, now it's going to be Owen to try to pressure that spot off. What a shot from him! That's an immediate entry. So Owen taken out of the round. Jack's isolated back towards the B site. With your cat player now gone, now you're in a little bit of a tight spot. You're also known to be this B player. And you haven't had as much success as you would be willing to admit. Here comes the wraparound from Jade. Opt to go back towards the B site, hopefully finding that entry frag. Meanwhile, Penguin's going to lurk out back towards the A site, try to find a little bit more damage done. Top Shadow not looking above him. Penguin eventually gets the better of him. There goes the first frag. Jade's also started to rotate as Jack's now backing up as Penguin also finds another frag. Jack still has to find all the information here. Does get spotted out. Good for the first frag as well. Cannot deny the bomb. As Jade's close up in the market here, eventually taken out by the op of Saber.
Well. Yeah.
I can see your face
I don't
right
know.
now.
Yeah, I am looking forward to T side. That's what I'm gonna say.
I am too, but at the same time, we also know that Sleepless Gaming need to pick up their pace on this round. Jack's giving the op in the hands of Jade, going back down to an MP9. I don't like to see that. I mean, obviously, you have to make some sacrifices if you want to give an op into the hands of your opper, but we've also not seen as much success early on. Would you be more considerate to go for full rifles all the way around?
Yeah, it's one of those situations. I mean, so here's what I would say is, I don't remember who exactly I heard this from, but, it's like some basketball coach. He's got a star player, and he tells him, like, he starts off the game 0 for 6 or something. And he tells him, if you're going to stop shooting the ball, like, I'm going to take you out of the game. Like, I don't care if, if you're 0 for 6 or whatever, like, you're our best player, like, you keep taking shots. And I kind of think that's, like, how a lot of times the op works. Like, he might be having a bit of a cold game, but, like, you can't really, like, lose faith in him as he gets taken down.
You were saying?
Yeah.
Not taking the shot? I actually... Ooh, this is a dicey call from Nova. Obviously hanging around that lower smoke. He does get one. round. Astrid still going for that head glitch angle. He does get Owen. Again, it's the same setup that Sleepless Gaming have been running for the entirety of their CT. They haven't made a type of change into where they're putting their players. And I feel like Locally Hated have gotten that number, have also abused that factor, knowing what the CT side are going to do almost at all times. And obviously working their way back towards the A site. It's Top Shadow alone completely with an AUG in hand. He does have a little bit of utility to try to make his life a little bit better. Oh, and the right timing onto the first one on the Penguin. He can isolate that fight. Alec going for that bomb plant immediately. Eventually the molly's burned a little bit early, as Saber's still holding on to CT as much as possible with that AWP. The flank coming out from Astery onto Top Shadow. It's now down to Jax with an MP9. 1-on-3 clutch demanded of him. Good on the first shot against that AWP. Now recovering that upgraded gun. Still doesn't know where Alec is in this situation. Smoke on top of the bomb as well. It's up to Alex to try to deny that cross. He doesn't get the right timing as Jack's still trying to find all this information out. Eventually, shot in the back. Alex shuts that one down, and we're looking at 3 match points for Locally Hated.
Yep. Sleepless Gaming not going to be feeling too great about their situation right now. Their T side was looking much better, obviously, in regulation. So they're definitely not out of it by any means. You know, if we can see them rattle off just 2 rounds in a row right here and get, you know, obviously they need 3, but they're gonna be feeling, I think, quite confident if they can just win. You take it 1 round at a time, but if they can just win the first 2.
But something to also mention is the mentality. What's going through all the players' heads for Sleepless Gaming? You had such a commanding lead right off the start, and it bombed out going into that second half. But eventually, Jade does find an opening frag onto Saber. That is a crucial kill, in my opinion. But Astery has already taken the space in towards top middle. Nova trying going for the refrag, gets immediately traded back out, as well as Ethics also taking out Owen. And so Jay takes the space onto the B site. Jack's also opening up a little bit towards the A site, trying to get the trade frag. Penguin succeeds. Jade. Bomb has been recovered into the hands of the CTs. 1:10 on the clock to work with, a full set of utility and an AWP in hand. I'd say ditch the AWP.
Yep, I would agree. And I'm also going to say that this would be a miraculous clutch if he was able to pull this off. I think that, you know, it's only a 1-on-2, but yeah, they have the bomb control, obviously, and he's going to be very low on time by the time he even manages to get over here. So it might even be a situation where he can get a kill, but literally doesn't have time to run the bomb back to plant it. So really going to need to pick up the pace here.
Yeah, and all these rifles just sitting right there in front of him. He's not going to immediately take that. Oh, the timing, 30 seconds on the clock. He's going to run right into their hands, and eventually it's going to be Astery to take it out. 16-12 for Locally Hated. This was a close match entirely. Obviously, it started very strong for Sleepless Gaming, but it just completely fell apart. I didn't see a change. Like, that's something we needed.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I don't have too much to say. I mean, like, kind of knowing the situation there, going into a team that had a player unexpectedly kind of not be able to playing with a sub, and just the unfortunate comeback there. Pretty heartbreaking.
Yeah, and yeah, like you said, it's heartbreaking that all happened. But at the same time, I just feel like there was not so much a miscommunication, but just like having to figure out what to do differently. Why did Locally Hated start reading us right down for every single one of our CT rounds towards the end there? And I feel like that's just something to discuss as a team. Maybe look back through the demos to really like get everyone's heads together and on the same page. And maybe something to change for like the IGL as well, make for the like start of round calls and mid round calls as well. But yeah, so obviously not the best game that you want to see. Mr. Owen again back with us for the post game interview. You guys had a very strong start. You guys showed a lot of firepower, but it seemed like it was fizzling out towards the end there.
Yeah, we just couldn't get past 11.
Mm. I mean, you did, but
I mean, yeah,
little too late, but
most of that half.
yeah.
So as I was just saying, it seemed like for most of the CT rounds, it was the same setup with Jackson Owen leaning towards the B side, Owen playing towards Cat. But it didn't seem like anyone was doing any sort of change up going towards the later rounds. Obviously, seeing how the B side would fall, and the frags just not going in your favor once they get out in the middle of the B side. Do you think that this is a little bit of a learning curve, both as the IGL as well as the new roster for you guys?
Somewhat. Um, I think we just have some protocols that we need to iron out, and I don't know. We'll have to go and look at the demo. Felt like Jax died on B a couple rounds to the op, which made those rounds difficult, and then
Mhm.
it felt like on mid they were going slow, but then we wouldn't have info anywhere, and then they would just inevitably split, and maybe we'd like give up an easy pick or something, but when they would split on us, we just weren't getting the kills, which is kind of a shame. So
Right.
yeah, at least
Yeah.
from my memory right now, like yeah, we'll just have to go back and look at it.
So that was something that I was saying kind of when the comeback was happening maybe a little bit was yeah, I felt like I don't necessarily would say you guys were playing like scared, but yeah, I felt like you could be getting a little bit more active. And right as I said that, you guys went for the boosting Jade into apps play with the op,
Yeah, that was
and he just ended up
unfortunate.
getting picked. Yeah, and that didn't work out, but like I like the attempt nonetheless. Like I was saying, I just kind of want to see you go for some extremity control. And that ended up working out, but obviously the round that you guys managed to take it to overtime, I mean that's exactly what it was too, is the ramp aggression, with David finding the 3 kills. So like, yeah, I don't know, the one time it didn't work out, but yeah, it just kind of felt like kind of what you're saying, like you needed to try to take some info, or something. Like, yeah, just didn't think the CT side was maybe quite active enough from my perspective. I'm not a Mirage player though, so
That was how I felt. I mean, pretty similarly. Yes, it's tough to say because you go for the aggro, and if they kill you, like it's tough. They just kept having a guy back B apps for so long, and then they kept having a guy lurk A as well for so long. So, um, maybe they were a little random because they were with a fifth, but it was just a fill, so it can't have been that different. I mean, they're just playing pretty slow, so I don't know.
Mm.
Just a tough one.
But on a higher note, obviously your T side was looking great right in the first half. We saw several clutches, several really important multi kills coming out from a bunch of you guys. Um, would you say that despite the loss looming over you, despite um losing the advantage that you guys had, would you say that there was still a lot of success going into the early rounds, and making your impact on a weaker side, so to speak?
Yeah, I mean, T side felt pretty good. Won some important clutches. I had a good one there at the end. Yeah, our
yeah,
T
it was a
sides
great
lately have
clutch.
been killer, but sometimes CT side we have some trouble. But
Mm.
it is just CT side is tougher in this game, and yeah, best of ones just can be scary to take risks sometimes. So
Right,
is what
yeah.
it is.
You have less leeway to really work off of compared to a best of three, where one map is not nearly as important.
So yeah, I have a question real quick. First off, I want to say, as you mentioned, that clutch was great. I was complimenting the whole time. It was very well played, I thought. I don't know about you, but I don't think that the con player should have tried to spam you through triple there because you didn't know where he was.
Yeah, I did not.
Yeah, and after you found that out, you obviously played it perfectly. So
Did I kill a guy con and then
you
there was
killed
a
the guy
second guy
con,
con?
and the
I
guy
think I
was
might
kind
have
of
saw
baiting
two
him.
of them. Is there a chance I saw
I
two
don't
of
think
them?
you
Yeah.
saw the other one.
Yeah,
Did you?
I think you did, but you barely saw the foot of the second guy because he
Okay.
was already out of cat.
Yeah, I feel like I did note that he was there. But I mean, it still helped me just like get a good position.
Yeah. Okay. Anyways, that was not my question. Sorry. So,
Yeah.
we saw one round where I thought that, based on when it started, that you might be able to take this round. It was the B pop. You guys waited out the Anchor's lurk smoke, which was really great. And you got the opening pick with a Tech 9, I believe.
Yes.
What happened there on the bench, guy? What were the comms like? I mean, was it
So we
just
knew he was in the smoke, and I mean, I don't know. Was there a guy cat, or was it like just the B guy was
it
in
was
that
just the
smoke?
two? There were two guys on site.
So I killed the first one, and then it was
You
just
killed the
the
first
second
one,
guy.
and then there
So
was the
like,
second guy.
I think we should have just like got like group ganged up on that guy.
Yes.
Because I heard them rotating market, and I don't know if you guys saw my perspective. Like I was sitting outside a market door, and I knew he was benched, and I held it for a little bit. But then he was like staying tucked, and I looked back at door, and then he came back bench, and like, yeah, like I had a chance to win that round. Like
Yeah.
I just don't know what happened with getting that guy in the smoke.
So
We
I
knew
was
he
gonna
was there.
say, right, going for the plant was maybe, yeah, not the greatest. Like obviously try to clear out the site first,
Oh
but
yeah.
the guy on bench, I would have to look at it again, but I mean, he was kind of on your screen for like a good while. I don't think it was like a 4x3 moment. It was a bit unfortunate.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, like it's not like, um, I don't want to like reminisce on rounds like what could have been or whatever. You don't know how the game would have turned out differently with that round and whatnot. So
Yeah, definitely more concerned with our CT side than it did end up being 12-12, but we just should have closed that game out way sooner. Shouldn't even gone that long. So it's all good. We live and learn.
Yeah, and obviously, like compared to your Monday game with my, obviously this one was a little more heart wrenching, I would say. But do you think that there will be a different game plan for your CT side going for your next Monday game?
We're not gonna change anything crazy, but hopefully we'll just have a deeper understanding of things options we have in certain situations.
Right. Well, again, it was a very nice game to spectate. Obviously, there were a lot of different highlights that we were very excited to see. You guys still have a really good start to your season. Obviously, you can pick up a lot more pace going for the rest of the season, but nonetheless, we're very excited to see how the rest of this season goes, and we know that you guys can put up the numbers and put up the frags.
definitely, I have one final question. Does this mean we will be seeing less Mirage? Completely joking, but I don't like that.
Yeah. I think we are really strong on it, and that teams are gonna want to keep picking into us. And so even though we do have 3 losses on it, 2 of them are really good teams, and we choked this one. So
Losing is learning.
losing is learning.
All right.
We're really just baiting other teams.
Yeah. All right. Well, again, thank you, Mr. Owen, for coming on stream for the post game interview, and thank you to Top Shadow and Sleepless Gaming for letting us cast here. We have a lot of fun doing this. And I'm your main caster, Storm. My co-caster, Roboscop, on the other side. Thank you all for tuning in tonight, and we will see you on Monday. Good night, everybody.